What's rocking, guys? Here in episode 3, I'll be testing 3 of the same players, so Onana, Ridderveld, and Bazer, and then I'll be taking a look at El Ghazi as well as Cerny. Of course, both of them have quite a bit of attention because they did make that list that EA put out, I believe. So, of course, a lot of people are interested in seeing how they can grow with some of the player training and the like, and just want to see how quickly those players with high potentials can really improve. Especially, Cerny is very interesting because we have Onana, who grew tremendously for a goalkeeper, and really young goalkeepers still don't grow again, it looks like, from what I've seen in other videos. I'll talk about that more a little bit later in a separate video. I'll probably post, I think, Monday, but you'll see some of the growth. Silson only went up 1 point. Tete improved a bit despite us not, taking a look at him anymore and trying to prove him more, but looks to be a bit better, attacking as a right back. It's still improved in some of his defensive stats. Veltman only up +1. He's a guy I was requested to train, so maybe I should have, but he grew okay, we'll say. But Ridderveld did grow quite a bit again in his marking, mental stats, tackling stats, and the like, but would have maybe liked to see some more growth here and there. Either way, he's grown pretty nicely. Of course, only 20 years old at 81, grew pretty solid with that +2, but of course he focused mainly on defensive, so I think maybe you could have tried to improve other areas and that could have helped slightly. But Bazer, again, he was injured and that really hurt his stats, but I focused on ball control, dribbling mainly, and then some of his mental stats. I wanted to try to improve his finishing, but he looks like he did not improve too much there, unfortunately. But agility and sprint speed again look to be linked. You see other guys who I did not test, unfortunately, he's kind of staying stagnant. He's probably close to his potential as Gudelj, but Clausen with a nice boost up to an 82 overall. You can see improving all over his physical stats, so that's a good sign. Of course, a guy that I have not trained at all, so strength went up. You can see all his other physical stats went up pretty nicely. And agility, sprint speed, again, they seem to improve together, as you can see here with El Ghazi, who I personally trained. Ball control, dribbling, finishing were some areas I tried to focus on, but couldn't really get too much other than, the sprint speed and agility definitely improved a lot. It was good to see, so getting higher in those areas, agility especially for a winger. One's very agile wingers, I know a lot of players do. Balance isn't that great, so we need to try to kind of make up for that somewhere, somehow, but it's turning into a very solid player. Still has a bit of a ways to go maybe to get to his overall, but now Milik getting back some of the stats that unfortunately decreased on me up to an 80 now with some of the finishing and heading accuracy. So again, a player I didn't touch this season. Haven't touched Victor Fisher either, but you see again, not too bad. Lucas Anderson fortunately has not grown at all. Onana went up to a 77 overall, so that's pretty solid. There's some points where I did not test at all. I simmed slightly because I just did not have enough time because of EA Access starting to run out, so unfortunately that was the case. It did actually just run out earlier while I was trying to record Mansfield Town career mode. So if you are interested in that career mode, that'll be coming, when it all comes out. But certainly, look at that, up to a 74 overall. And really, because again, that I simmed, I think I could have gone up a little bit higher to 75 or 76. So really good, very promising. Finishing is very high. Ball control, dribbling improved quite a bit, as well as sprint speed and agility. So it's a very agile player, and he just looks to be very solid for a young 74 overall winger who is at the age of 19 years old. Still has some ways to go to reach his full potential. We'll see how he gets there. St. Grave, unfortunately, has been hit by tons of injuries throughout this and has not grown much at all. I think I probably am going to do, I'm most likely going to get this game on the PS4, basically, just because that is, my friends mainly play on PS4, and I play a lot of pro clubs in my free time. So I may get this on Xbox as well, but now that it ran out, unfortunately cannot really sim ahead. So I plan to, do all these same players again, especially Cerny. I'll be focusing on him for mainly, trying to do 2 years in a row with them, just completely testing Cerny and a couple other players again, like Cerny, El Ghazi, Bazer, Ridderveld, Onana. I'll take a look at them completely for the first 2 years. I'll completely do the player training for them for 2 years. Then I'll sim ahead until they reach their potential. This is what my plan is for testing them coming up. And then I will end up doing a player review most likely with them as well. So that's my plan for them, because unfortunately things didn't work out with EA Access. I just kind of messed around too much a little bit and really just used up the minutes very quickly, unfortunately. But Van de Beek went up quite a bit, up to 74, another guy with some good potential. I did train him slightly, as well as Adel Nouri. Tried to train his finishing, because of course I had some injuries and the like throughout the season. Unfortunately, didn't hamper a lot of the players that I'm training, except for Balser. And some of the other guys, Vergever went up to 75 overall, and some other players. You can see that I did put out on loan Amin Younes. I put him out for a 2-year loan, I think it was, 73 overall. Then you can see Frankie de Jong, another young centerman, unfortunately did not grow at all. And Muric went out to Werder Bremen and grew a bit. And then here, 21-year-old player just stayed stagnant again. But player growth is very interesting. Player training, with and without the training. So there's a lot of things to see. I still think sprint speed and agility are definitely linked. There's some other things we can continue to learn throughout this. I'll be doing one more season without doing any player training at all, and we'll see how growth goes there. But thanks guys for tuning in this very quick episode. I'll have that last episode, then it's a full kind of recap thoughts on training episode basically on Monday or Tuesday for you guys. But thanks guys for tuning in. I'll be signing out now, and I'll catch you guys later.